Stay home. Today's message is brought to you by the government of Ontario. No, I'm only kidding. but I'm not kidding. Then that's because they have actually put it out to us. Anybody who has a YouTube channel, anybody who is an influencer, address your audience and let them know the importance of staying home at this time. They are trying to find a way and do the best they possibly can to get the numbers down, basically get the spread of this coronavirus under control and put an end to it once and for all. So if the message that we need to get out there is to stay at home, then I'm here to tell you that's exactly what you have to do. And that's in its most simplistic way. But we have to try and make sense of what exactly do they mean by stay home. And I say that because I find a lot of times their messages are very confusing and very mixed and talking out two sides of their mouth. For instance, here in Canada, we have had a non-essential travel for almost coming up to a year now. However, the point is that when you do get to the airport, hey, guess what? You still can travel, even though it's not for any essential reasons. So what was all this whole thing about having a government travel advisory for no non-essential travel when, hey, you can travel wherever you want? They do ask you questions. Have you been in contact with anybody who's had COVID? Have you had any symptoms of COVID, like a cough, a temperature, etc.? And you say, no. Okay? Hey, you telling the truth? Well, let's hope that you are. And your temperature. Well, guess what? If you really, really want to travel, just take a Tylenol. By the time you get to the airport, you won't have a temperature. It's an antipyretic, and so it will bring your temperature down. So them testing your temperature at the airport really isn't going to solve any problems. So again, my whole thing is that you say non-essential travel, but you allow people to travel. Go figure. So now we take a look at some of the exceptions to the stay-at-home rule. So of course, for essential reasons, you're allowed to go out. You have a doctor's appointment. You have to go get your medications. You're shopping for groceries, anything like that. If you live alone and you want to visit one other household, and that's the household that you're going to go to, then you're allowed to do that. If you must visit people, you are allowed to congregate about 5 people outside of the home. You're not allowed to go in the home. So within the stay at home, there are other rules that are added to that in terms of, not staying at home, if you want to put it that way. But who's enforcing these restrictions? So even the police departments out there say that they don't have the manpower or the ability to monitor people and how they maneuver around. And, unless there are large gatherings, unless somebody reports you, they really have no way of monitoring it at all. So the time has come for us to buckle down and do whatever it takes. Now, I understand here in Canada, our Prime Minister is actually looking at shutting down the airports and saying, that's it, there is no more travel. And that makes sense. Maybe you should have done that from the beginning, because you can't say that there's no non-essential travel and then people are hopping on the planes and going wherever they want, whenever they want, and then there's no consequences to that whatsoever. Oh, sure, when you came home, you had to do 2 weeks of quarantine, but apparently even that wasn't really monitored that much. So again, if you are going to make these kind of restrictions on the public, make it clear. Say it in black and white. And if we have to do that for the next 2-3 months so that we can actually just get past this and get this all behind us, then let's do our part. Let's actually do our part and stay home, minimize the chances of spreading this COVID and now the new variant that's out there. And let's just get going. Now that we've got the vaccine and a few people have been vaccinated, let's see how that is going to have an impact on those numbers and the overall spread of this virus. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for doing your part, and look forward to seeing you again in the next video. If this is your first time visiting this channel, consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button that's down below. And hang in there, we're going to get through this together. Adios.